Let me tell you why I'm legend. Here, right in the present. This is my confession. Please stop the guessing. They peeked through my window while I was dressing. They borrowed swag from me, it's clear, without a question. This is why I'm legend. Well, let me tell you why I'm legend. Well, let me tell you why I'm legend. Tuck. You know the vibes, nigga. Shit me, you kidding me. We back at it like a crack at it, you shitting me. GunnaSpeaks. You know the vibes, we back at it again, you heard. We about to tune in to another Kevin Samuels edition. You know what I'm saying? I think it's very important that we keep listening to this guy because he's really speaking on the behalf of men. We don't really have a lot of platforms that speak on the behalf of men. So I like y'all to tune in to this podcast, Swagcast, you know what I mean? Because we're going to be doing a lot of Kevin Samuels stuff. I think it's very important, you know what I mean, that the men have a voice in this, you know? So basically this is off the Fresh Fit podcast. This is an excerpt for them. So I'm just going to play a clip from them. We're just going to listen in and see what Kevin Samuels is talking about, see what the ladies is saying, and let's get some dialogue happening, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to do a little, analysis on what's being said, and we're going to give some feedback and all that. So y'all tune in over this way. Bye.
120 to 200K a year, so I'm
okay. No.
I'm a
chemical engineer, and I'm gonna tell you that is. But I mean, but that's the no. That's not the norm. And see, and what I hear from a lot of modern women is you cherish your independence more than you cherish what a man brings to the table. It's like if a man can't pay his way, pay 100% of the way for you guys, he's not useful. Well,
we gotta stop it right there. What you just said? If a man can't pay his way, women view the guy as unuseful. What do y'all think about that? Do y'all think that's true? Do women value men as unuseful when the guy doesn't have the money? That's a question I'm posing to the people. In my opinion, from my own experiences, I would say yes. And I would say with a strong yes because, I mean, I've been down, I've been out. I'm from poverty, so I ain't never had $1 million and a bunch of money and all that. So, we deal with the regular poverty-stricken environments and the poverty-stricken, situations, losing jobs, getting jobs, losing jobs, getting jobs. And sometimes the guy might not have it, Does that speak to his personality? Does that speak to the character of the person, of the man? The fact that maybe he did lose a job or maybe he don't have the money or the means to take care of a situation? I don't know. Y'all, I'm just posing questions. Y'all got the grounds to answer that. Know what I mean? Hit that comment down there. Just drop the comments and all that. I'm just posing questions, man. You know what I mean? Also, I'm gonna give a little bit of analysis in terms of my own, experiences. So we're gonna tune back in. I just wanted to touch on that. What y'all think about that? You know what I mean? Do ladies find men useless when they broke?
I think you guys are gonna realize something in the next 10 years that the world has told you that you can have it all. You can't. Life is about choices and trade-offs for us all.
I have a quick question.
Go ahead.
So piggybacking on the idea that she said that she'd like to raise a kid on her own, what about those women that didn't necessarily, because we're talking about like a whole comparison thing, so what about the women that didn't choose to raise a kid on their own?
Yeah, like,
right? So like obviously, so like for example, it's a guy.
You're asking me?
Well, you and like everyone else.
First of all, women, of the 50+% divorce rate, women are filing 70-80% of all divorces. Women are choosing to wreck their own homes every day. Men are not choosing to wreck their own homes and make women single parents. That's a choice that women are making.
Why? Because their husbands are trash, treating them badly?
Now here we go with the ad hominem stuff. Here we go with the same old tropes. Here we go with the same old tropes. Yeah, this is the same shit that's been piped into the
Listen, if you got a point,
one at a time.
One at a time, Bill.
Yeah, this is the same stuff that's been piped into the culture forever. That when a woman chooses to break her home, it's always the man's fault.
I was more so asking a question from like the child's like first day of birth, right? Children have birth certificates, and it's the woman's like responsibility to sign it. It's not the man's responsibility to sign it. They don't have to sign it. Like,
wait. So I
was asking.
No, that's not true.
That only applies when the baby is out of wedlock. You know, typically what he's saying basically is you're supposed to carry before you marry. So if you were to marry, federal law says that the man has to sign the birth certificate too because it's a joint venture. So it's no longer that stuff. That only applies to the women and the circumstances of women that choose to have the babies without the father being involved, or whether the father is involved. They just don't care. Just like y'all just heard. They want to have the baby by themselves. So they think a dude is just a sperm donor, basically. You know what I mean? So this is y'all talking. This is the ladies talking. You know? So out the horse's mouth. No spins from the guys. That's just the ladies. We just dissecting what's being said to us. So next.
Okay, so
not true. No, hold on. That's not, ma'am. That's not true. If you're married, it is your responsibility to sign your child's birth certificate.
But if you're not, is what I asked.
That's the point. You should marry before you carry.
See?
That's an opinion.
That's not an opinion. That's facts. It's statistically, who's the psychology major? Who's the psychology person on the panel? Children do better in a two-parent household in general. Yes or no?
Yes.
Thank you.
But I don't understand what that necessarily is.
Because a child has because the union of marriage is one of the best institutions human beings have to date for the rearing of children. It's a primary reason. So this whole notion about
I have opinions, but I also have like the psychological, like, you know what I'm saying? Like there's an opinion and there's
what you're still hearing is a lot of women on the panel who understand your points of view, but you're hearing less and less about anything from a man. It's always, every time I've asked a question about a man, it's been something negative, something detracting. Nothing has been positive.
Let's stop that right there. Why is it that when y'all refer to men, everything is negative? Because I used to be around a lot of women. Those are women that were single, those women that probably had men, they had husbands, all types of stuff, right? Different variations of it all. But what I commonly heard was women bashing men. Now, again, women are going to point the finger and say, oh, well, men do it too, whatever the case may be. We're not talking about the men. We're talking about strictly what the women do. Now, when the women get mad, you'll be surprised at the things she's willing to say to you, you know, while telling you that she like you, love you, you know, want to rock with you, you know. So there's a lot of bashing that goes on. They talk about how guys is broke, you know. We don't want no scrubs, all this type of stuff. And, you know, these are things that we got to be up against when we in a dating scene. We got to deal with these notions that men ain't you know what I'm saying? You know, there's a lot of men that want to be a part of the child's lives that's being exiled out the households and stuff like that. So there's a lot of variables in terms of why women get left raising kids by themselves. It's not always by strictly the women's choice. It's not strictly the man's choice. You know what I mean? A lot of times, you know, it's just the systematics and the environments that shape some of these decisions that men have to make and that sometimes the women have to make. So, you know, it's an interesting conversation. I think y'all should really tune in. Keep tuning back in. Just keep listening, y'all.
I just simply asked a question in regards to, like, because you said, do you expect to make $100,000 to $200,000 to support that child? In regards to Valentina, so I was just curious, like, what you think about the women who don't have a choice in that?
Well, you do have a choice. You just don't like your choices. You chose the man you laid down and made a baby with.
Right.
You chose to bring a child into the world for that man. Then you can choose to do your duty.
But psychologically, like we were speaking earlier.
So hold on. Again, those are your choices. See, those are choices. And right now, again, I want you guys to go back and clip this. Every time I've talked about a man, there's been something negative or downside. Yet.
And no accountability on the behalf of the women. It seems like every time he makes a point about something, the women has to swerve around it, you know what I mean? They don't never want to just answer directly, or it's a but. Listen for the but. See how many times they say but. Every time a valid point is made, let's wait for a but. And count it.
Do you hear anything positive about anything regarding a man relationship or the benefit of a man and a woman working together?
does that have what to say about the man or us though?
Right. Yeah.
Because if we have nothing positive to say, then in our experience, there's been nothing positive.
Well, if that's the case, you picked them.
So everything is our choice, right?
Yes. Yeah, it's reflective. You chose, yes, you picked, yes, ma'am. Because just like every man you've chosen, there's been other men who may have been suitable, but he's not tall enough, he's not this, he's not that. There are no women on this panel that are hideous. You get to pick. See, what you cannot do is what women typically try to do. Absolve themselves from all accountability and consequence.
That way.
I believe that everybody gets consequences for what they choose to do. However,
well, I don't hear any on this panel. She just said, what did you say? What about the women who didn't do this? Well, what about the mothers who didn't choose to be this?
I didn't list anything. I specifically asked you a question in regards to children.
I said the woman who just spoke before you.
Oh, okay.
He's just, I like how he talks more.
And she clearly said she ain't listening. She ain't listening, so how you respond to something you ain't listen? Women do that a lot too. Y'all gotta check yourself on that. Well, don't check it because I said so. Just check yourself. Just listen to yourself sometimes. You know what I mean? Listen for the butts, y'all always say. Period.
I feel like I can't even say.
Yeah, you can't get a word in. That's okay.
Valentina, you have a question, right?
Wait, what were you?
As a single mom.
Okay, yeah, as a single mom, I was saying like, okay, like I chose to lay down and for the man or whatever. But when you're saying like, oh, I chose to like give birth to the kid, like, what about if you found out you were pregnant when you were 7 months pregnant? Because that was my situation. Like, it was like you're having the baby, or you're like, that's just your responsibility. Like, it's just or giving up the baby for adoption, but that's like that. I wasn't gonna do that. Like, that's more like like.
Sorry, how does that work?
No, so first of all, to answer your question, most women don't find out they're pregnant in month 7.
Huh?
I mean, that's just not the norm, especially with all medical technology today. You have a monthly cycle. It does not come. That's usually trick 1. There are many options down that path. But again, you find out you had a baby on the way. You did have the option to give it up for adoption. You just chose not to exercise that.
So, ladies, what do y'all think about that excuse? She said, what about women that find out they pregnant at 7 months? So you mean to tell me you got a period every month, right? That helps you to monitor this type of situation. So you ain't have a period in 6 to 7 months, and it ain't dawned on you that you might have been pregnant because you was getting slammed up. So how do you justify having a baby inside you for 7 months and then acting like you don't know? And then going as far as saying that it's not really your responsibility because you didn't know. It wasn't your choice. These are questions, ladies. These are questions. I ain't coming at nobody. Please don't jump in the comments coming at me, please. I don't want no beef. No smoky smoke. You know what I mean? We just want real conversation. We gonna tune back in.
Still a choice.
Oh, okay. I agree.
And then you were saying something about marriage certificate, right? That somebody
No, I was asking about the birth certificate. I asked why most...
Very important, y'all. Listen for this. Listen to this. This is very, very important. Listen to this. Because this is law right here. This is law, common law, federal law. Not state law, federal law, y'all. People.
Cases, it's the mother's responsibility to take care of a child instead of the father's. Because we were about men and women, so I was just asking in that instance. Usually, like the court system looks immediately to the woman.
No, not true. And the thing is, if you have a child and you're married, and the divorce is not final 11 months before the child is married, the father's name goes on. Excuse me, let me finish my example.
Just let him finish and then you can make your point.
If you're married and find yourself divorced and your ex-wife has a baby less than 11 months after you're pregnant, after your divorce is final, the father's name, the husband's name goes on, the ex-husband's name goes on the birth certificate. That's federal law.
Hello, did y'all hear that? That's federal law, ladies. Study your law. Stop jumping out the window so quick. Study this law. Some people out here doing real studies. Keep listening. Tune in.
Okay.
So it doesn't just automatically apply to a woman. The man's name was on the birth certificate. My name ended up on the birth certificate of the ex-wife that way.
Like the majority, we're talking about the majority, not everyone has children after they get married. And you guys are focusing on the relationships that come from marriage.
But that's a choice.
And you have children.
It's a choice if a woman has a child before she's married or after. That's 100% her choice.
This girl right here is an example of pretty privilege. pretty privilege is just this pretty girl stuff that they walk around in the clouds. They don't gotta know nothing. They don't gotta think like nothing. All they gotta do is be pretty and cute, and they think the world's supposed to fall to their knees for them. So y'all gotta be mindful, man. That pretty take you but so far. Because if that brain don't work like that pretty work, you're gonna have a serious problem with an intelligent man. Somebody with some type of caliber to him, you know, some substance to him. Let's tune back in.
He's trying to say the woman has to take accountability that she had the child out of wedlock.
Accountability.
With that. That's what he's saying.
But why don't the men? That's what I'm asking.
It's not about the men. When we talking about the ladies, when the ladies having a conversation at the club and y'all having y'all little round table conversations at the house with the lady nights and all that, that ain't got nothing to do with no men. Y'all should address y'all own issues amongst yourselves. You know what I mean? Fix what we gotta fix. You know what I mean? For the men, when I talk about the men, or when I'm talking about these ladies with men and my friends and stuff like that, I'm telling them how I gotta get better. I ain't worrying about what a chick doing. I'm worried about what I gotta do for me. It's not so much me doing it for women. I'm doing it for me first. I gotta make sure I'm in my right stance as a man. You know, I'm founded right. That way, when I do meet the lady in my dreams, you know, or somebody that's worthy of my time, you know, that I'm right, that I'm complete as a wholesome man. Because again, like I told you earlier, I've been messed up. I've been broke. I've been on the floor, sleeping on the floor. I've been sleeping on chicks' couches and beds and all that type of stuff. I've been there, done that, man. But I learned the importance of having my own, you know, and maintaining myself and putting myself to a better standard of living, you know. That way I'm good for a woman when I do meet her. And I think women should do the same thing. Stop looking to point the finger or to blame somebody. Look in the mirror and say, where can I have made the wrong decision, or can I maybe tweak something to make a better outcome? You know what I mean? We gotta look for better outcomes. We gotta tweak ourselves and look for the better outcome. Let's tune back in, y'all.
Because let me. I'll answer this because this is what. Okay. Can a man force a woman to have a child if she chooses she does not want to carry it to term?
It's a question, ladies. Can a man force a lady into having a baby and carrying it for 9 months? Is that even possible for a man to make you have that baby? So if you do have that baby, whose responsibility is it to take care of that baby? Question.
Well, then it is a woman's choice when a child is born in this country. Men have no rights after conception.
True or false?
My mother was a single mother, and she will tell you she believes the same thing I do. She chose to not get married before she had me, and she chose the circumstances in which she raised a child.
He's right. He's right on that because it's our choice as women. He's right on that because it's our choice as women. We make that choice, and
we don't make those conscious decisions. What I'm saying is, you can't control like the fate of.
No, I get where you're coming from.
You see, you got the one girl who actually agrees. You got to stay away from these type of girls that disagree on everything that a man has to say. She got her friend telling her that's correct. She's agreeing, but still, you got the pretty privileged chick. She want to make excuses. She still got to hit it with a butt. It got to be a butt. Man. Lay off the butt, man. Please. Just listen to say, and this girl, she don't even listen. You could tell she don't listen. She ain't got to listen. She's been pretty too long. Peep it.
Like, you're basically stating, like, okay, I had sex with this person. Why can't they take responsibility too? I get that.
Exactly.
But, like, it's also a man's choice if he doesn't want to be there, but it's also your choice if you want to keep it.
Right, I was just off of the psychological aspect like they were talking about earlier. Like you said, it's a man's
what it comes down to is, let's just keep it a stack, man. I'm going to just say it because everyone else is too scared to say it. Most women don't have any type of accountability when it comes to child rearing, having children, and the consequences that come with it. You pick who you have sex with. Women have unilateral control on who gets born in the United States. Men have zero access to that. So if you're a single mom, it's your fault. And then on top of that, let's also add on that women initiate 80% of divorces and most breakups. So
can y'all agree that it might be partially y'all fault for having a baby? If y'all find yourself as a single woman raising kids, 1 kid, 2 kid, 3 kids, can y'all agree that that's y'all responsibility for actually going through for 9 months with this baby in your stomach? Some of the time, which y'all know that the guy not even interested in y'all for that. But y'all still go have a baby thing that the man is going to love you more or you'd be able to track the guy somehow. You know what I mean? So are y'all responsible for these outcomes? You know what I mean? Are y'all responsible? Will y'all step up to the plate and admit y'all responsibility if y'all do agree that y'all responsible?
It's not that the father isn't in the life. A lot of the time, he's not allowed to be in the child's life. If we're going to keep it a stack.
Let's keep it a stack. I ain't going to go into too much personal, but look, I've been a product of that to a certain degree, you know? And I got a lot of friends. I'm a dude, so I got a lot of male friends, you know? A lot of which, you know, I hear a lot of guys. I watch guys cry over their babies because they couldn't see their kids. Not because they was bad dudes, but because the chick done found another dude and she wanted to replace the dude and she felt like, oh, I don't need a dude, I could get a stepdaddy, and the dad is gonna, you know, the stepdad is gonna take the responsibility of the actual dad, the biological dad. So there's a lot of variables to this, man. And ladies gotta make wise decisions. Y'all gotta be responsible and accountable for the decisions that y'all decide to make and replacing these men. Because like they said, 80% of the breakups and the divorces are attributed to women decisions. These are not men breaking up with women. Even if the lady cheat, the man is not leaving the girl leave a dude if he quote unquote cheat. But like Kevin said before, we talked about options. High value men, people of substance, they don't cheat. Black men don't cheat, man. We use options. Jot that down, baby.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true. I agree with you because I know some women like that.
I really understand what you're saying.
And a lot of women use a child as a pivotal point to exercise leverage to cause pain in the man's life. It happens.
This is why marry before you carry, because in the example you were given, what about if a woman does this? Most time when a man is having sex with a woman, it is not to get her pregnant. They're having casual sex. It's not like he said, you know what, let's have sex and I want you to be the mother of my child. If a woman, and this is the thing where I tell men, don't trust a woman on birth control. You better back up twice, because if she gets pregnant, you lose. You lose, because it doesn't matter what she said before it. After she's pregnant, you lose all rights, because this is 100% her control. See, I believe in a world where women have freedom of choice. You choose to be a mother, choose not to be a mother. But then I also believe in a world where men have the right to do a financial abortion. You can kill a baby. I should not be able to have to take care of it if you choose to make me a father when I don't want to be one.
That's understandable.
That's true.
But it's circumstantial, like I said before, in my opinion.
Well, but here's the thing. Let's be real. If the child support system was fair, to where if a woman chose to, a man could actually sign off his rights, not be financially responsible, not have you come afterwards, do you think the out of wedlock birth rate would stay steady?
Hold on. We have to stop that real quick, because so the question is, would women operate the same way? Would y'all be so quick to have these babies, get a nigga out the way, you know, exile a dude, don't care what the dude involvement is? Would y'all be having these babies if y'all didn't have the systematics backing y'all up? The child support, the food stamps, the EBT and all this type of stuff, the WIC. Would y'all be so quick to have these babies the way that y'all do if y'all knew these systems wasn't there to hold you down? Or y'all know y'all couldn't entrap a man with the systematics that y'all got and y'all benefit? That's the ultimate question, y'all. So basically, you know, I just wanted to have another dialogue about, you know, men and women and the black household, and black, white, orange. It don't matter what household. You know, men and women was designed for a reason. We designed the way we designed. So a lot of this conversation is very valuable. I think is good logic in it, and I think it's good reason for people to tune in, you know, and keep looking out for, you know, dope conversations, man, and keep looking out for information and wanting to be better and looking to be better, grow. You know what I mean? To stay the same is to stay the same. There's no progress in staying the same. So I hope y'all tuning in. You know, GunnaSpeaks. We're going to have some funny videos. We're going to have some crazy videos. We're going to have some real logical information that we're going to be dropping. We're going to do some financial, you know, analysis and stuff like that, and show people how to do some of this business stuff that I'm into. So till next time, You know what I mean? Y'all tune in. It's GunnaSpeaks, man. I am your host, L to the mother. Gunna. You know the vibes. Peace. If you see me on YouTube or whatever, go hit the subscribe button. Ain't no thing, just hit the button. Bow.